Good morning, everyone. Welcome to morning meeting. Today we're joined with Perry, our peregrine falcon ambassador. As always, let me know where you guys are tuning in from today. If you guys have any questions, certainly drop them in the comments. I would love to answer them. Good boy. But good morning, everyone. So Perry is one of our peregrine falcon ambassador. He's been with us since 2012. So he actually came to us from Vermont. He is a bit unique within our ambassadors. A lot of them were either hit by cars or they were kidnapped out of the wild as a baby. Perry actually flew into an electrical transformer, and so he has some soft tissue damage and muscle damage, so he can't get around very well. So he does live in one of our smaller enclosures with a bunch of ramps to help him get around. And we do build all of our enclosures just specifically for our ambassadors. We don't want them to get nice poop. Good boy. We don't want them to get hurt while they're trying to move around their home. So we do build them just for them. So peregrine falcons, we do have them here in Maine. There's actually a pair that lives, for those of you that are local, on the 95 bridge between Maine and New Hampshire. There's a pair that nest on there. Good morning, Lynn. Good morning, Elise. Yes, he is very, very handsome. Right? Easy. I know. I don't want you to hit your wings. Ooh, easy. I know, there's a lot of commotion. There you go. You're okay. So he is, sorry, bud, one of our more nervous ambassadors. So if he starts flapping his wings and baits, that's why. Something spooked him. There's quite a bit going on this morning. We're pretty busy with admissions and releases. Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Teresa. Welcome, everyone. All right, Perry. Yeah. So our falcons, we have our peregrines, we have American kestrels, and we have merlins. So some of you guys may have met Maeve, our merlin ambassador. So she is about a third of the size of Perry, and then the American kestrels are even smaller. They're smaller than the merlins. So a kestrel would probably be about the quarter of the size of Perry. But all of our falcons are special within our raptors because they prefer to hunt birds. Good morning, Jacqueline and Anne. Hi, Mom. So our falcons have these long pointed wings, just like Perry has when he shows them off. Yeah. They have really long toes. Oh, good boy. So that little shake was called a rouse. It means that he's a little bit more comfortable now. They're just shaking out their feathers. Yeah. They have these really long toes. Their talons are not as strong as like a hawk's or an owl's because their prey is different. And then they also have, yeah. Let me flip the camera so I'm able to show you guys a little bit better. So Perry has the main hook of his beak, and then right behind it is a little notch behind it. So that's another thing that all falcons have, is that little tooth. That's going to help them catch their prey. And then close up of these really long toes. Easy. At least I didn't realize how her markings on. Yeah, so Perry, if he'll let me show you. Yep. I know, there's a lot going on right now. So all the gray you see around his eyes are what's called malar stripe. So his cheeks will fill in as he gets older. Some of you guys may remember Freya, our late female peregrine falcon. She passed away about a year ago, and she was about 15 when she passed. And so she didn't have that little patch like he does. He is about 8 years old now. That little white patch that he still has will fill in as he gets older. So it's kind of like when athletes put like black stripes under their eyes. It does the same exact thing for them. For our falcons, oh no. Our falcons like to hunt birds. And so they're moving fast, their prey's moving fast, and he's actually the fastest animal on the planet. Hi, Dad. Oh, yeah, that's okay, at least. So these guys will, in the wild, hang out on a nice high rocky ledge. Sometimes we get reports about hikers getting dive bombed up in Acadia National Park. So they'll sit on a nice high rocky ledge, but they've really well adapted to live near humans now. So we do see them in cities all the time with lots of skyscrapers. Yeah, because there's a lot of pigeons in cities. And so it's pretty much like a big McDonald's for them. So they use that black striping to help bounce the glare from their eyes. Yeah. So they'll use those long pointed wings to make them very aerodynamic, and our airplanes and our bullets are actually built off of their body shape. So they will tuck those long pointed wings in, dive head first, put their talons into a fist, and literally punch their prey out of the sky. So when they're doing that, it's called their stoop dive, and they can reach over 300 miles an hour during that dive, which makes them the fastest animal on the planet, which is so incredible, Perry. Good morning, Chuck from Rhode Island. Hello. All right. Hi, Dad. Yeah, Perry. Yeah. You're okay. I know, there's a lot going on right now. As you can see him looking around right now. He's a little bit nervous right now. There's a couple releases. Well, people here to pick up releases as well as admissions this morning, so we're a little busy. Yeah. Do you want to go over and sit under the pavilion? Would you like that better? A little bit quieter? Yeah, so we can move. So I'm just going to walk over with him, see if he calms down on the other side of the area. Right, Perry? Oh, Elise, how much does he weigh? So he weighs about a pound. So he is about 600 grams. So about a pound-ish. But for those of you that remember, we're bigger than the boys. So she was about a pound and a half, so quite substantially larger for a bird that's only a pound to begin with. And she was our very sassy office manager. And so she would actually, we tried to put them together because most raptors do actually mate for life. But unfortunately, because she was so much bigger and didn't realize she was a falcon, she beat him up and stole his food. So unfortunately, they did not get to be roommates. I'm just going to try to get this without hitting my phone here. There you go. Yeah. So unfortunately, they were not able to live together. I know. Chuck, yes, related to the merlins. They're essentially the big cousin of our merlins. So they are our largest falcon that we have around here. And then we also have the merlins, which if you guys have met Maeve, our merlin ambassador before, she's a merlin. And then the little bit smaller American kestrel. Okay. Good morning, Naomi from Rhode Island. Welcome. Yes. You're so jumpy this morning. What? I know. What's wrong? You're okay. I know. You're such a little nervous, Nellie. Yeah, you're okay. Hi, Kate! We love when our coworkers join in to say hi to our friends, right? Like, hello, Kate. Perry actually does this really funny thing when you walk by his enclosure, especially with the people that handle him. So when we walk by his enclosure, in the wild, they do this kind of bow sort of motion to their mates. And so when we walk by his enclosure, it's kind of like playing peekaboo with him. He'll go like that, and then we'll do it back to him. But you can see those long pointed wings while he has them out. He is very handsome, Naomi. I agree. So I'll show you guys, since he has his wings out, that nice pretty slate gray color. Yeah. So unlike like our red-tailed hawks, our broad-winged hawks, our coopers, our sharpies, so you can tell a lot about where an animal lives depending on its color. So like our hawks, our red tails and our broadwings, for example, have that brown back, that whitish belly. It's similar to sharks and penguins. They're going to have a dark backside and a light underside. So we call that counter shading, which means that they're trying to blend in. If you were on the ground looking up, they want to blend in with the sky. And if you're on looking above, they want to blend in with whatever's below them. So you can take a guess, like our red tails, our broadwings, their backs are brown because they live near the woods. But Perry has this pretty beautiful slate gray color because our peregrines really like to live near water. So they are found all over the world, on every continent besides Antarctica. And they're going to use that coloring to blend in near water, which is why they really love to nest on that bridge between Portsmouth and Kittery on 95, right by the ocean. Yeah. They're not hunting for fish, though. They're definitely hunting for the birds that are near there. You're okay. I know. Yeah. And he also has fantastic eyesight as well. So he, imagine, like I said, he can, in the wild, they'll stoop dive at over 300 miles an hour. So he's moving really, really fast. Way faster than any of us have ever moved at any time in our lives. Like driving or anything like that. I lied, a plane, I guess. So they're going really fast. They have to have that vision to correct for it. So he can see little songbirds if we're sitting outside in your yard or on your deck or something like that. If a little bird were to fly by, he could see every little wing beat that little tiny bird was making. Yeah. I know, Bertram keeps talking. I know. You might be able to hear Bertram, our common raven. He's very angry. He hasn't had his breakfast yet. Yeah, so their vision is incredible. So they can see the little wing beat that little bird is making. And he also can actually plug his little mares. Elise, he came to... You're fine. He came to us because he flew into an electrical transformer. Bud. Yeah. And so he has some soft tissue damage and muscle damage. So he does live in a bit smaller of an enclosure, just so we can make sure that he's safe, he can get around without hurting himself. He came to us from Vins in Vermont. So they're similar to us. They are a wildlife hospital as well as an education facility. So he's been with us since 2012, so he's at least about 8 or 9 years old. But that's just based off of when he came to us. Chuck, they love the buildings in Providence. Yeah, I imagine. Because when they can sit on those high buildings, it does mimic the natural habitat they would like, that nice high rocky area. So they have really become really well adapted to live near us in cities. These guys actually used to be on the endangered species list, just like our eagles, and for the same reason, actually. For those of you that are familiar with Silent Springs and Rachel Carson, we were using DDT on our plants, and through what's called bioaccumulation, which means that we put this chemical out, the bugs ate that, and then the birds ate the bugs, and then they ate the birds that ate the bugs. So even though the chemical was never intended to hurt our higher predators, it was in the food that they were eating, and so it hurt them as well as everything else in the food chain. So they ate those birds that had the chemical in them, and then the DDT made it so that when mom would sit on her eggs, they would actually crack. And so they were on the endangered species list for quite a while. They did come off in the mid-90s. You're okay. But just like anything in the wild, we do constantly monitor their populations, just to make sure that they're still doing healthy. They have definitely made a comeback though. So we do see them throughout New England now. Hi, Uncle Jimmy. Lee. So he's from away, not too far. Vin's is 2 or 3 hours, I think. It's in the middle of Vermont. Chuck, why is Perry so jumpy? So he is a bit more of a nervous ambassador. There's quite a bit going on this morning. So he's a little bit more spooked because of the neurological stuff. It just kind of depends on his mood. I know, bud. I'm sorry. At least, do they migrate? So some do. We have started to see them, however, stick around. Because we call them partial migrants when some migrate and some don't. They used to all migrate down to the south. But some of them are sticking around, and so we do see them around here sometimes still in the colder months. So Perry does come inside when it gets below 0 at night, and then he'll go back out during the day, just because him and Lucy, they wouldn't be possibly not around here during the winter time, so we do want to make sure that they're not going to get too cold, but he's obviously much bigger than Lucy. Has more muscle mass to him, and so we do let him get a little cold, just like us, to get to acclimate. So early in the summertime, Perry as well. I know. And all of our ambassadors tell us that they're just so hot. And then we'll let them kind of settle in the fall once it starts to cool again, and then they'll slowly acclimate to that as well. So it just depends. You might have just heard Bertram, he has learned to talk like a crow, which is really funny, and there's the raven talk. And so he'll do both, which is really funny to listen to. Good morning, Greenbelt Hiker and Penelope. Welcome. Yeah, Perry. Are you gonna let me give you a close-up again? Okay. Hello, handsome. Like, I want my breakfast. Yeah. See all of his little speckles on the bottom. They look like hearts, which is super cute. Sorry, don't bite my fingers. Yeah. Your hearts are so cute, Perry. Chuck, Lucy is our Eastern Screech Owl ambassador. So she's actually in the middle of molting right now, so she looks very, very silly. Good morning, Andy from West Henrietta, my New York friends. Welcome. Good morning. At least do they only eat birds? No, but they do definitely prefer birds. So he does get a varied diet, so he'll get mice and birds depending on the day. Either like a mouse one day, or a mouse one day, quail the other day, and then Friday is like a special enrichment day for our ambassadors. We do give them a day-old chick sometimes because it's kind of like a Twinkie for them. They really enjoy it. But we do try to offer him and Maeve and Lucy our quail as much when we can. Just because the falcons would prefer birds, and Lucy in particular just really likes chicks. Yeah, he is very, very handsome, Teresa. Kara, is Bertram bigger? Yes. So Bertram is about double this, yeah, a little over double the size of Perry. He actually weighs more than our red-tailed hawk. To give you that size perspective, he is much closer to the size of a red-tail than like an American crow is closer to like a blue jay. So he's a very substantial bird, and he on the glove sits much different. For those of you that have met him on these morning meetings, where like Perry is very vertical, he is much more horizontal. And so you do have to be very, very careful about that really strong beak. She wants to play and loves to nibble and stuff like that. But Perry is about 600 grams, and Bertram is about 1,300, I believe, right now. Yes, he does have quite large eyes, Elise. What do you think, Pear? Oh, thank you so much for donating, Lisa. That was really, really sweet of you. As always, we are so grateful for your donations. We are a non-profit. We don't receive any state or federal funding for the work we do. So we are... You're okay. Truly incredibly grateful for your donations, because we couldn't do our work without you. Without donations and grants, we couldn't get to bring all of our ambassador friends all over to meet everyone and teach about them. We wouldn't be able to care for our 2,000 plus patients every year in our hospital. So we could not do our work without you. So thank you so much, Lisa. Rose is Perry. Is Perry stressed? Is that why they use hoods? They use hoods by falconers? Yeah. So we sometimes will use hoods during like a medical exam. Our peregrine Freya had one just because it calmed her down. We don't use it for him. A lot of times we use more of a towel, just because that's what they're used to. That's what you use in a medical clinic. So he is a bit more of a nervous bird in general. So even when we bring him on programs, he will go back and forth every 10-15 seconds of, I'm really stressed out, I'm really stressed out, I'm really stressed out, and then he rouses, and he's like, okay, I'm fine, and then like 15 seconds later, it'll do it again. So like I said, he does have some neurological damage. He is a lot more skittish than some of our other ambassadors. Yeah, so he's calmed down pretty well, as long as I don't squeak the bench I'm sitting on and move. Lisa's here. So strong. Nah. So he's pretty light. It definitely, when you have these programs with Violet, that's definitely a workout. Because her and Gaia, our great horned owl, are about 5 pounds each, which doesn't sound like a lot until you're holding them for a substantial amount of time. But we do have some tricks that we can do when our arms do get tired. Like we'll tuck our elbows into our hips and kind of use that as a little balance to help with keep them up. But he's not too heavy. He's only about 1 pound. Good morning, Katie. Welcome. Say hello, Perry. Look at you. Okay, so Perry's gonna get a quail today, so he's really excited. It's one of his favorite treats. We were really lucky to get these quail donated to us. We do get our mice donated to us from a laboratory, thankfully, because they still have to euthanize their control mice for research. So we are very grateful for them, just because even without having to buy mice, we still spend several $1,000s on food every single month. So we do still order quails, chicks, rats, guinea pigs, bunnies, for our ambassadors and our patients, just depending on what their species is, how big they are. So if you guys remember, Violet, our turkey vulture, is currently fostering some babies, and so they just got upgraded to some rats for food just because they're bigger. So we do have to still buy all that food, and we were really lucky to get these large chicks that were donated to us from someone that was breeding them for a dog trainer who had backed out, and so we were really thankful that she donated all those big quail to us, because it's more money we can spend on other stuff to help take care of you, like medicine and medical tools and all that fun stuff. Oh, thank you so much for donating, Carol. That's so sweet of you. Thank you. Yeah, we love him too, Katie. Bertram is the loud kid in the classroom. Yup, that's exactly what he is. He has not had his breakfast yet, and he is very vocal about how angry he is about that. So that's why he is talking right now. He's ready for his breakfast. Right? And so are you. You're ready for your breakfast. So if anyone has any last questions, I can certainly answer them. But otherwise, we're going to wrap up in a few minutes, just so Perry and Bertram and all of our other ambassador friends can get their breakfast. As Bertram is telling you, he's very displeased. Yes, he's very hangry. That's a perfect word to describe him. Yeah. You're okay. You're okay, buddy. Nice job. He is beautiful, Barbara. I would very much agree. You let me show you off? I know, the bench is moving. Can you look at the camera? Oh, you're so welcome, Katie. Yeah, we are really grateful that you guys are still hanging out with us every single day at 10 a.m. We're having so much fun. You guys are still hanging out with us. So we are really grateful that you guys are still tuning in with us every day. Yeah. What do you think? So even though you guys have met all of our ambassadors at this point, we're still trying to rotate through them and give them all some fun time. Because we have started some of our offsite programming, but it's not a whole lot. So before the pandemic started, we were doing programming every single day offsite, basically. Yeah. We miss coming to see you all. Our ambassadors miss seeing you all. So this is a great way to get to see everyone. Oh, thank you, Katie. Oh, no problem, no problem, Chuck. Oh, thank you, Lisa. That's really sweet. I'm gonna give a close-up of you. Oh, thank you, Chuck. Yeah, we certainly love them as well. Right, Perry? So thank you guys so much as always for tuning in with us today, and we will see you guys tomorrow at 10. Have a great day, everyone. Say bye, Perry. Bye.